So, hello everybody. I'm really glad to be here with you to talk about the success factors in mobile campaigns, so mainly from an acquisition point of view. It has been more than 10 years that I'm in the online world, and as you know, things have evolved. More broader, we went from display to programmatic, we went from affiliation to performance marketing, and obviously from desktop to mobile, which will be our main subject today. A little bit before, I would like to talk about Meetic. Even though I'm sure that a lot of you already know Meetic, it's very important for us to show you how we are in the mobile field. So basically, Meetic is 15 years old now, and it's the leader in Europe. It has the largest single community, and we have the chance that we are in a very dynamic market. So dating, you know, is still here, and we have a lot of singles all over Europe. A little fun fact is that European people, actually 1 out of 5 European people will know somebody that met through Meetic. So now, you know, the recognition of the brand is very high. So basically, we are a churn business. The goal is that we acquire people in order to let them leave. That's why we need a lot of acquisition, and our main challenge is really recruiting new members. So just some numbers about it. In fact, 60% of our acquisition is through mobile. And we even at 3/4 of acquisition in Spain through mobile. Maybe that's why we're here in Barcelona, actually. So what we can say about mobile is also that 70% of people get connected at least once per day on the mobile. You know, now it's not, we're not on our mobile just while waiting for the bus. We're waking up with our mobile, we're at home with our mobile, at work, during leisure, during shopping. So it's really the device that we have everywhere. And I'm sure, you know, I can see that most of you have their mobile really close to their hands. So in fact, it's our agility that made our success. We're not a dating company anymore, but we really in real life company. We are having events, so really in real life events, but we're here to talk about all the cross device. So we are obviously on desktop, but also on mobile, on tablets, and on wearables that we'll be able to see a little bit after. So our job is really to give singles the opportunity to meet. It's not that they have to meet only when they're close to each other. So, for example, with the geolocalization, that's true that it's good that you can meet somewhere that it's close to you. But Meetic is much more than this in their app. We have the shuffle mode, so when you can swipe right or left, you all know one of our competitors. We also have the different criteria, and of course the events on everything in one app. So basically, we are one of the only dating actors to deliver a full device experience through smartphone, tablets, wearables. Smartphones being at the heart of the marketing at Meetic. We are through all OS, as you can see here. And again, you know, worldwide, the digital ad market is one of the only to have a growth of 2 digits. And this is mainly due to from mobile, so it's very important again for us. Of course, there is still a discrepancy between audience and media investment, even though this one is going to still increase in the next months and years. So at Meetic, we're not focused on mobile since only a few years, but we were already on mobile in 2003. I'm sure that it's a word that you will only hear here. It's the WAP experience. So I'm not even sure that people still talking about WAP, but WAP is the wireless application protocol, because at the time the internet browser didn't support HTML. So we were working with the WAP. With micropayment that was directly taken from the operator's bill. So from your phone bills, you can see directly the registration on Meetic. But we have evolved since then, because it was back in 2003. Basically, in 2010, we had our first apps, and then in 2014, our HTML5 sites. And then last year, with the wearables, we also got connected to the Apple Watch. So obviously, you know, it's really tends to go further and further, and we're looking for 2016 to seeing what it can bring as well. But we know that you know, business 10 years ago is not like business today. Again, mobile is a big part of it, and it has evolved through the years. So that's why I will focus on 3 important things here during this presentation. Is first the targets and the KPIs. That is very important to look for a success. Well, for success in the mobile campaign. Second, really the tools, the tracking tools that we can use. And third, really a broader view in order to really have in mind that mobile is not only the device, but finally it's everywhere. So I'll begin really with the targets and the tools. Basically, an acquisition campaign has to have specific targets, otherwise you cannot go a lot more further. And at Meetic, we are really a performance-driven company. And by performance, what do I mean? It's really efficiency. How are we looking at efficiency? So efficiency for us should be the same in mobile than in desktop. So that was very difficult to put into place. But the first thing is that the acquisition of our new members, that's really, you know, the big KPIs that we're looking at. So our eco model is a pay-to-communicate model, and basically it's you first register for free, and then you will pay to communicate, and you will become a subscriber. But it's really important to understand. So first, it's more on volume, so it's more quantitative. Then we will have more on the qualitative side. We will look at the ROI. So the ROI is the revenue generated from the conversion of our free registration. So those are the 2 main metrics we're looking at. Quantitatively, the members that we get in, the free members, and then the ROI. There is a third point that I wanted to highlight, is the fact that we always look at KPIs like this, but it's very important also to be visible. So to be visible on the good supports, with the right audience. It's very hard for us to get the right audience, because we're looking after singles. And how we can better look after singles, it's really hard. There is just one social network that you will all know that is giving us the right to do it, but otherwise it's very difficult to find this. So the business is very different than the retailers, for example. And it's also very different in the way that whenever you're coming to our site or to our app, whatever you have, it's a registration form. So you don't have content, or you cannot go through products, etc. So first, you have a registration form. So we tried to be to have a very 4 easy steps in the registration funnel, and that's true that it's one of the positive points for acquisition, is that the people will get registered. But of course, it's good to have a first impression, but it's good to convert. So we're looking at a lot more KPIs. Here you can see the conversion. So from our app, from our sites. Basically, it's really we're taking all the decision, the strategic decision, we're taking them from KPIs, from data, from the numbers that we would be able to see. So that's very important for us. There is a lot to look at. So we're going through download, we're going through the clicks, so the click-through rates, the final conversion. So it's all the data we're looking at. The thing that I want to say here is that we have plenty of different channels in online and in mobile. So we work in display. It will be CPC or CPM eco model. We're working on social, on search with a CPC model, on affiliation, with all the model that you can imagine, from CPL to even fixed fees or CPM, even in affiliation. So for us, it's very important to be well focused on data. And again, this is really something that we're looking at every single day, and all the KPIs are really important for us in order to achieve our volume and our ROI. So next, I will talk about the importance of tools, because of course I talked about all the KPIs, but what is really important as well is to have the right tools to track it. So of course, when we begin with mobile campaigns, we already had all the tools into place for desktop. But if you are really new on this area, the first thing that you should look at is the MMP, the Mobile Measurement Partner. It's really something that everybody needs in order to begin a mobile campaign. For us, it's very important to get the right tracking for all the events from an end-to-end, and really to make sure to know the acquisition sources. Of course, after this, there is some very good tools for this. There is also the attribution contribution model that you can customize. So most of us at the moment are really on the last paid click, but of course you have the first one, you have the homemade attribution as well, and that's something very important to keep in mind whenever you're looking at your KPIs and the analysis of your campaigns. Another thing is that, around the mobile, is that a tracking tool that we call an SDK. So SDK is it's for the application, and that's something that I wanted to talk about, because the SDK, in fact, is very hard to choose. Why? First, at a company level, it's hard, but also, from an acquisition point of view, I will have some needs. But the developers will have others, the marketing will have others, so it's very hard to make sure that everybody is going towards the same point. And at the end, choosing the right SDK will really be a key point for all the mobile campaigns, because it's this tool that will give you all the feedbacks from your campaign, from your app download campaigns. So very important for this. Of course, so we talked about the KPIs, the targets, the tools to measure them, but this is nothing if we don't have an integrated view of the markets. When I say integrated, it's really, in fact, we're not doing mobile only by pushing a mobile ad, but in fact, we're doing mobile every time, in offline, in more the traditional media, TV, radio, out of home. It's really something that we always looking at, because in fact in our campaigns we always showing the devices, or we always showing people that are using our device. So basically it's not only an online or mobile way of pushing the message, it's really a global message. And I will come back to the mobile way of pushing message, because there is plenty of them. Of course, everybody knows the banners that we used to see on desktop. It's the old way, I would say, but again, this is something that is working on mobile still. The only thing that we're really looking for in mobile is really to have the more visibility for the banners, because already on desktop it's something that we often don't really see. So in mobile, as it's very, very small, it's even something that has to be followed very carefully, because that is very hard to work in an efficient way, as I was saying, for us, in a performant way, if we're not looking at what the banners is doing. After, you all know also the kind of ad with text plus image, so either on social or native ads. We're doing at the moment a lot of native ads, and it's working well, because it's really in an environment and not only a banner that is pushed through to the potential users, but that is maybe in a totally different area than dating. So basically, this is really a day-to-day work, with daily adjustments. We have a lot of test and learn for mobile campaigns, and this is very hard to give only one way of doing it, and the factors of success are being really multiple. And that was more on the performance way that I was talking about before with all the elements that I gave. But there is just one thing that I wanted to highlight is that we also doing video on mobile. It has been not even 1 year that we're doing video, and it's really powerful. So again, if you really look at efficiency at direct response, it's really hard to see video as direct response, but it allows us to really see the incremental reach that it can bring from the offline campaigns as well. And again, pushing the message about mobile, about people using the app, etc., etc. So video is still pretty new for us, but it can be also something that in the future it can be one of the success factors for mobile. As we know, at the moment it's more the younger target that is using it, but it's the growth of the video on mobile is really going higher and higher. So basically, what I wanted to say is that there are plenty of ways to do a mobile campaign, and I just explained you how we do it at Meetic, but there is plenty of them. There is not a good one or a bad one, as long as we strongly believe that we have the right KPIs, that we have the specific targets, that you have the right tools to measure, and that, again, that you have a broader view. So for us, it's really all the ingredients that will make your mobile campaign works. And if I need to finish on one keyword that you should have in mind, it's really mobilization. I don't know if you have any questions. No questions? Yes? In what, sorry? Well, for sure, virtual reality will be maybe, as I was saying, we went from WAP to the wearables in 2015. So maybe for 2016, I know that we are talking a lot about this at the Mobile World Congress. So of course, if there is something to do, Meetic will be there. We're really trying to follow the trends as I was showing. So yes, of course, maybe you will see the person with the Meetic signs on their head in the future, maybe.
And regarding your, I would say, areas of growth geographically, what are the next big thing for Meetic?
When you mean geographically in Europe?
New markets, yeah. Outside of Europe, maybe.
So we actually we are part of the Match US group. So we are all over the world already, but of course we're sure that it will grow more in Asia at the moment. But again, Europe is very strong. As I was saying, the dating market is very strong all over Europe, but all over the world. And the mobile area, I would say, is still growing with a 2-digit at the moment. So of course there is plenty of room.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me. When you say that in terms of mobile acquisition, video is one of the next trends. Are you thinking of pre-rolls or?
So I'm talking in-stream for sure, out-stream as well. We're testing both at the moment. Of course, more in the in-stream way. But yes, it can be pre-rolls, but it can be also what they just developed. It's a company called Teeds. So basically, you have your video inside a content. So basically, it's not that disruptive as well, because if you just want to read your content, you can. And if you want to watch the video, you can also watch the video.
Okay. Thanks.
Still have 1 minute if no more questions.
Do you see any patterns or difference in patterns of use from people in the north or in the south of Europe?
So yes, definitely. As I was saying, globally, 60% of our acquisition is in mobile all over Europe. But for example, Spain is definitely one country where mobile acquisition is a lot bigger and is a lot stronger because maybe also of the usage. But it really depends from countries to countries. And definitely the UK and Spain is driving the business, the acquisition business up on the mobile side.
And on top of acquiring users, are you hunting for new startups?
Yeah.
So we should talk.
Yes. Well, thank you very much.